Welcome to everyone. So, myself, Dr. Timura, Associate Professor and Pathology Department of Biological Sciences, Bharat Institute of Higher Education and Research. So, I'm handling the course Plant Pathology and Disease Management. So, today I'm going to cover the topic diseases in plant. So, first we see the general characters of the fungi and fungi-like organisms. So, what is mycology? The mycology, the branch of biology that deals with fungi, is called as mycology. So, what is mycologist? The scientists who are concerned with fungi are called as mycologists. So, let us see the definition of fungus. Fungus is derived from Latin word which means mushroom. So, they are microscopic, eukaryotic, achlorophyllous, nucleated, unicellular, and multicellular organisms with large distribution in soil, water, and etc. And they are reproduced by a mix of asexual and sexual spores. So let us see the general characters fungi. So first one is the morphological characters. Thallus. Thallus is nothing but it is the entire body of fungus is called as a thallus. And thallus may be holotropic or unicellular thallus, holotropic or filamentous thallus, so plasmodium and pseudomycelium and rhizomycelium. Let us see what is holotropic and unicellular thallus. Whole thallus is converted into one or more reproductive structures, and hence the vegetative and reproductive phases do not occur together in the same thallus. Example, yeast. Eukaryotic and filamentous thallus, only a portion of the thallus become reproductive and form differentiated or undifferentiated reproductive cells. Hence, the vegetative and reproductive phases may occur together. Example, in mycets. Plasmodium, it consists of macromotile mass of protoplasm that feeds in an amoeboid fashion. Example, protozoan. Pseudomycelium, the thallus with series of cells adhering to wall separation, another example, thallus. Example, yeast. Rhizomycelium, the unicellular or uni or multinucleate spherical thallus with the rudimentary mycelium only to absorb the nutrient. Example, Chytridium. So the second one is hyphae. So hyphae is nothing but it is a long tubular thread-like filamentous, and hyphae are divided into septate with the mycelium with a cross wall, aseptate without a cross wall based on the presence of septum or a cross wall. Aseptate multinucleate hyphae are also called as cenocytic hyphae. So this is the picture of septate and aseptate mycelium. In first picture, there is no cross wall between the mycelium. In the second, so they are called as a cenocytic hyphae or aseptate hyphae. In the second picture, it shows the cross wall between the mycelium, which contains one nucleus. So they are called as a septate hyphae. So next general character is mycelium. Mycelium is nothing but a mass of hyphae is known as mycelium. It may be of hyaline mycelium. It means that mycelium with white or colorless. Example, Pythium species. Second one is colored mycelium. Mycelium with a colored pigment. Example, Alternaria species. Third one is a ecophytic mycelium. Mycelium lives on surface of the hive host. Example, Erisiphase species. Fourth one is the endophytic mycelium. Mycelium lives within the host cell. So they are called as a endophytic mycelium. Example, Levulula taulica. So fifth one is the monokaryotic mycelium. So it means that mycelium with a single nucleus. Example, you can see in the life cycle of fungi, haplophases. So sixth one is a diplomycelium. It means the mycelium with two nucleus. Example, Allomyces species. Fourth one is a dikaryotic mycelium. Mycelium have two sexually different compatible nucleus per cell. Example in smut fungi. Eighth one is a homokaryotic mycelium. It means the mycelium contains genetically identical nuclei, example Aspergillus nidolensis. Ninth one is the heterokaryotic mycelium. Mycelium contains nucleus of different gene constituent, example Mucor and smut fungi. So next character is a special somatic structures. First one is pulsorium. It is an anchoring organ of fungi, localized swelling of the tip of germ tube that developed to response to contact with the host. Second one is the haustorium. It is a lateral outgrowth of intercellular hyphae to absorb nutrient from the host. Example in the pygmies. Third one is a rhizoid. There are a short root-like filamentous outgrowth deviate of nuclei. And the hypopodia, it is a small appendage with one or two cells on external face and functions as observing organ. So the next character is various septates are given below. So they are solid septate. It means complete cross-walled produced. Example, Oomycota. Perforated septate. It means it has small holes between the septate. Crosswell perforated by a number of small bodies. Example, Botryochum species. Bordered pit type septa. Septopore is surrounded by a over-anchoring bifurcation of the septal margin, looking at like the typical bordered pit of trichiid in Pinus. Example, Trichomycetes. Ascomycetan type septae. Septae having large central pore of 0.05 to 0.5 micrometer diameter. Example, Ascomycota. Dolichos septa, septa with a barrel-shaped central core and a hemispherical cap. Example, Acromycetonias myceli. So this is the structure of Dolichos septum. In the picture A, you can able to see a two septate, septate. In between that, you have a simple pore. And in the second picture, you can able to see at the tip of the septate, you can see a bulge-like structure. That type of spores is called as a dolichos. This dolichos septum can be able to see in many of the Basidiomycetes family. Next general characters is hyphae modification. Prosencyma, woven fungal tissue in which the individual hyphae is lie parallel to one another. Pseudoparenchyma, compactly woven fungal tissues with more or less isometric or oval cells. Stomata, compact mattress-like structure made up of prosencyma and the pseudoprosencyma. Example, acerulae. Rhizomorph, a long root or rope-like resting structure made of closely packed parallel or interwoven masses of hyphae with a thick hard cortex and growing tips. So next general character of fungi is mycelial strand. Sclerotium, it is a compact and often hard mass structure formed from the aggregation of somatic hyphae. Example, Rhizoctonia solani. Myceligenous germination, the sclerotia germinate directly into the mycelium. Example, Rhizoctonia solani. Carpogenous germination. The sclerotia on germination give rise to a sporocarp bearing stalk. Example, Sclerotina sclerotia. Sporogenous germination. The sclerotia of germination give rise to a spore. Example, Botrytis cinerea. Pseudorhizas, the root-shaped organs designed to unite the vegetative mycelium developed into the roots of the trees. Example, Basidiomycetes fungus. So the next character is reproductive structure. The fungi reproduce by vegetative, asexual, and sexual means. The vegetative reproduction, fragmentation. Example, Rhizopus mucor, fission, yeast, budding yeast. Asexual reproduction, only 20% of the fungi propagate by this type of method. Example, by conidia, by spore. The spore may be unicellular. Example, Aspergillus and Penicillium, multicellular Alternaria and Cercospora. Spores are endogenous, developed by in Pycnidia or Sporangia, and exogenous, developed on Conidiophores or Sporangiophores. So asexual spores are zoospore, which can be seen in Pythium and Phytophthora. Chlamydospores can be seen in Stylago. Oidea can be seen in Collabia and Coprinus, and aplanospores can be seen on the sexual spores can be seen on an euchar and rhizopus. Asexual reproduction is absent in deuteromycete fungi, so they are also called as a fungi imperfecti. So steps of sexual reproduction, they are plasmogamy, karyogamy, and meiosis. Plasmogamy, it means fusion of protoplast. Karyogamy is a fusion of nucleus forming zygote, and meiosis, reduction division in diploid nucleus forming haploid. So types of sexual reproduction. First one is planogametic copulation. It means the fusion of gametes. It has isogamy, anisogamy, and oogamy. Second one is gametangial contact. Male and female gametangia come in close contact by fertilization. Example, Pythium and Phytophthora. Gametangial copulation, it means fusion of entire gametangia. Example, Mucor and Rhizopus. Spermatization, sex organs absent. Minute spermatogen fuses with trichomine. Example, Puccinium. Somatogamy, fusion of two vegetative phase, example agaricus. So let us see the next content of this chapter, that is reproduction of fungi in the deep. So in reproduction of fungi, we are going to cover definition and type of reproduction, that is vegetative reproduction. Under vegetative reproduction, we are going to cover fragmentation, fission, budding, sclerotia, and rhizomorph. Next type of reproduction is asexual reproduction. In this, we are going to cover endogenous spores and exogenous spores. The third type of reproduction is sexual spores, in which we are going to cover plasmogamy, karyogamy, meiosis, and methods of sexual reproduction. So let us go inside the reproduction of fungi. The definition of reproduction of fungi are reproduced with all the characteristic typical of the species and formation of new individuals. So some of the important methods of reproduction of fungi are as follows: vegetative reproduction, asexual reproduction, and sexual reproduction. Vegetative reproduction, it means it does not involve the union of nuclei and sex organ or sex cells. Vegetative reproduction help in increase the number of individuals in the population, and vegetative reproduction in fungi occurred by different methods. They are as follows: fragmentation, fission, budding, sclerotia, and rhizomorph. Fragmentation. The mycelium breaks up into a small fragment or pieces, and each of which is able to develop into new individuals. So there are two types: accidental, like a fast flowing water; purposive, that is like a vegetative reproduction. Common in filamentous fungi, that is Rhizopus, Aspergillus, and in the class of Ascomycota and Basidiomycota. Fission, mature cells are mitotically divided to two daughter cells and rise into a new individuals. Occurs in unicellular fungi, example yeast. So next one is budding. The production of small new cell from the outgrowth of the cell is called as a budding. Then pseudomycelium, the chains of bud, it is occur in unicellular form such as yeast, which comes under the class Acaromyces. Sclerotia, pseudo parenchymatous mycelium aggregations, and these sclerosias are resistant and parentating body so that it survive for many years. Each sclerosium is cushion-like structure of compact mycelium. The compact mycelium give rise to a new mycelium on the approach of favorable conditions. Example, Claviceps purpura, Rhizoctonia solani. And rhizomorph, it is a modified mycelium. The rope-like rhizomorph are also resistant to unfavorable conditions. After several years on the approach of favorable condition, they give rise to a new mycelia. Example, Armillaria and Milia. Asexual reproduction. The asexual reproduction takes place by means of spores, and many spores formed are thus mitospores and not the zygos and mesospores. Each spores may develop into a new individuals. Sporophores, it means the spores are of a diverse type and born upon special structures. It is pleomorphic or polymorphic. When the fungus will produce more than one type of spores, it is called pleomorphic and polymorphic. following the spores placed on the sporangia, there are two types of spores in the sexual spore. There are endogenous spores and exogenous spores. Endogenous spores, the spores will produce inside the sporangia are termed as endogenous spores. Sporangium, the endogenous spores are produced within the special spore producing cell and it is called as a sporangium. The spores which bears the sporangia on their apex are called as a sporangiophores. These endogenous spores are two types, aplanospores and zoospores. Aplanospores are motile, non-motile spores without flagella and they are uni and multinucleated. They lack vacuoles, they possess two-layer cell walls. They are called as epispore or exospore. The outer wall is very thick layer. Endospore, the inner wall, thick layer. Inner wall is thick layer. Example, Mucor and Rhizopus. Zoospores, the zoospores are motile and they have uni and biflagellate without any cell wall, uninucleate, vacuolate. Using, they are usually kidney shaped or reniforms. The flagella are inserted posterior and lateral on them. Example, albigo, pythium, phytophthora and many other lower fungi. Exogenous spores, the spores producing externally or exogenously on the terminal end of the sporophores are called exogenous spores or conidia. Conidiophores, which part of produced conidia externally on the branch or unbranched, it is called as a conidiophore. The conidia are diverse in their shape and size and also in the color, multi or unicellular or uninucleate or multinucleate. The blue-green molds, the conidia of Aspergillus and Mycelium are smoky green color so that the fungi are called as a blue-green molds. In the other type of exospores, the sporophores develop in the group and form the specialized structure called pustules, Pecnidia, Accidia and Sporacria. So these are all the pictures of different types of exospores, that is conidia of Aspergillus, conidia of Cercospora, conidia of Fusarium, conidia of Polytotrichum, and conidiophore and conidia of Penicillium. So these are all the asexual reproductive structure of different fungi. So next one is sexual reproduction, that is union of nuclei or gamete of opposite sex. A gamete is unisexual. It is called as a sexual reproduction. Deuteromycetes lack sexual reproduction. There are two distinct phases in the life cycle that are they are haploid phase and diploid phase. Haploid phase, it means the number of chromosome in the X number of chromosome in the nucleus. In diploid phase, 2x number of chromosome in the diploid phase. So it ends with fertilization and another one with during meiosis. So monoecious and homothallic. So when both the sex organs and strains occurs on the same mycelium, this fungi is said to be a monoecious and homothallic. Dioecious or heterothallic, when the male and female sex organs or plus or minus strain occurs separately on different mycelia, this fungi is said to be dioecious and heterothallic. Isogamy, the morphologically similar identical male and female gametes are called as an isogamete, and when fusion of each other, then is called as an isogamy. Isogamy, the morphological dissimilar male and female gametes are called as heterogametes when they fuse together, and they are called as an anisogamy. Plasmogamy, the fusion of plasma of a gamete is called as a plasmogamy. The fusion of nuclear of the gametes is called as a karyogamy. The karyogamy in the lower fungi, there is a complete fusion of nuclei in the two different strains gamete in the sexual union. Dicaryons in higher fungi, the fusion of two nuclei of different strain is delayed and the pair of the nuclei is called as a dicaryons. Example, Ascomycetes and Basidomycetes. Dikaryotic mycelium, the mycelium will have such a pair of nuclei called as a dikaryotic mycelium. Monokaryotic mycelium, when the mycelium possesses a single haploid nucleus of either strain of the each cell is called as a monokaryotic mycelium. Meiosis, zygote immediately undergoes meiosis to produce mesiospores. After karyogamy, reduction division take place in the diploid nucleus, and thus the haploid stage is established. So method of sexual reproduction, the common method of sexual reproduction are as follows: planogametic copulation, gametangial contact, gametangial copulation, spermatization, and somatogamy. So plasmogametic copulation involves the fusion of two naked gametes. One or both gametes are motile, and motile gametes are known as a plasmogametes. Isogamous planogametes are observed in Syncytium or Plasmodiophora classica. Anisogamous plasmogametes are observed in Allomyces, and oogametes can be observed in the monobelophases. So gametangial contact can be found in many lower fungi, example Phycomycetes, and this is a method in which the two gametangia of opposite sex come in contact, and one or another gametes nuclei will merge from the male gametangium to the female gametangium. Male nuclei migrate to female gametangium by the dissolution of wall, and examples Aspergillus and Penicillium, etc. The other species, the male nucleus migrate through a fertilization tube, example Pythium albigo and Pernospora, etc. So the below picture shows the sexual reproduction in which the gametangial contact by means of fertilization tube is taken place in Pythium of Anidermata. Next one is the gametangial copulation, the fusion of entire content of two contacts compatible gametangia will take place by pore. Example, Muca, Rhizopus, and Entomophora, etc. So the below picture will shows the gametangial copulation by a single pore. Spermatization, it is observed in the advanced fungi. The sex organs are completely absent. So here the sexual process is accomplished by minute spore-like spermatia and specialized hyphae acting as a male and female structure. Spermatia are carried by air, wind, water, or insect to the receptive hyphae, and these spermatia attach to the trichogyne of receptive hyphae and then migrate into the cytoplasm. Somatogamy, sex organs are not produced, and the two somatic cells take part in sexual function and they fuse together. Example, agaricus and many other higher fungi. So below picture will shows the hyphae of opposite meeting together and fertilization take place in them. So next is about the fungal diseases. So let us see the fungal diseases, symptoms, their causal organisms, and pathogenesis. So first, the fungal disease is the damping off. Symptoms, pre-emergence damping off, and it has a post-emergence damping off. Pre-emergence damping off, it means the seedling will disintegrate before they come out of the surface. So this is known as a pre-emergence damping off, which results in poor field emergence and poor seeder germination. Post-emergence damping off is characterized by development of disease after seedling have emerged out of the soil surface but before the stems are liquefied. So lesions formed at collar region, infected areas appear brown or water-soaked lesions are shown. Plant shrivels and collapse as a result of soften of tissue. Infected stems will become hard in and infected seedlings will topple off. So disease appear in patches both in nursery as well as in the field condition. Causal organism, Pythium ophanidormatum, Pythium divarianum, and Pythium ultimum. So pathogenesis, the primary infection is zoospore in soil and plant debris. Secondary infection is zoospores through irrigation water, heavy rainfall, excessive and frequent irrigation, poor drainage of soil and close planting, high soil moisture with temperature around 25 to 30 degrees Celsius. Pythium ophanidormatum will prefer the temperature above 20 degrees Celsius, but Pythium divarianum and Pythium ultimum will prefer cool temperature of about less than 20 degrees Celsius. So see, this is the picture of damping of symptoms, can able to so we can able to see a lesion, shriveled and water soaked lesion on the collar region of the seedling. So this is the tomato damping off. So next fungal disease is downy mildew. So symptom is the first few leaves that show symptoms are only partially infected with green or yellow coloration of the infected portion. So abundant downy white growth is produced on the lower surface of the leaf. The downy growth will spread over a major portion of the upper surface. As the plant grows, white streaks are appears on both the surface of the leaf. So the tissue then tear along the streak will cause shredding of the leaves, which is the most characteristic symptom, and hence the leaf is called named as a leaf shredding. Example of a positive organism is Cambu downy mildew, Pernosclerospora sorghii. So pathogenesis, Pernosclerospora sorghii is a systemic in young host plant in the form of intercellular non-septate mycelium. It is an obligate parasite. Sporangiophores emerge through the stomata in a single or in clusters where it is stout and dichotomously branched with pointer steric Oospores are typically produced abundantly in parallel band between fibrovascular strands of the shred leaf tissue, which are three-walled, more or less round, thick-walled, and golden yellow in color. The primary infection is by means of oospores present in the soil, which germinate and initiate the systemic infection. Secondary spread is by means of airborne sporangia. Maximum sporulation take place in 100% relative humidity. Optimum temperature for sporulation is 21 to 23 degrees Celsius, and the light drizzling accompanied by cool weather condition will be highly favorable for the downy mildew disease development. So this is the symptoms shown in the leaf that you can able to see a cottony white color mass growth on the under surface of the leaf. So next disease is white rust. So symptoms is white shiny raised pustules on the lower surface of the leaf, stem and flowers. Pustules will collapse to form irregular patches. The epidermis rupture exposing white spore mass which give rise to a pustule of powdery appearance. The plants will not formed before recognition. And causal organism, mustard white rust, albigo candida. Pathogenesis, primary infection is spores in soil and perennial weed host. Secondary infection is sporangia or oospores carried by wind. So this is the symptoms of white rust in Amaranthus. You can able to see the raised white color pustule on lower side of the leaf. In the same upper side, we can able to see necrotic patches. Powdery mildew, small irregular powdery spot appear on the upper surface of the leaf. These spots gradually increase in size and become circular, uh, covering the lower surface. When the infection is severe, both surface of the leaf are completely covered by whitish powdery growth. In severe infection, foliage becomes yellow, causing premature defoliation. The white powdery spot completely cover the petiole, stem, and even the pods. The affected leaves will curl, chlorotic, dry, and defoliate. Fossil organism, Levulula taurica or Erysipelas. Pathogenesis, Saponidia, the fungi is ectophytic, spreading on the surface of the leaf, sending haustoria into the epidermal cells, and the conidiophores arise vertically from the leaf surface will bear conidia of short chain, and conidia are highly thin-walled, elliptical or barrel-shaped or cylindrical or single cell. The fungus is an obligate parasite and survive as a Clostridium in infected plant debris. The primary function infection is usually from ascospores from a parentating Clostridia. The secondary spread is carried out by airborne conidia. Rain splashes are also help in the spread of disease. Warm, humid weather condition will favor the disease development. So this is the powdery mildew symptoms in the leaf of cucurbits. White powdery gold can be seen on the upper surface or lower surface of the leaf. Next disease is smut. The smut symptoms are evident only at the time of emergence of panicle from root leaf. All the spikelets of the panicle will transform into the mass of black powdery spores. The infected panicle will emerge 2 days early than the healthy, and the spores are covered with a silvery membrane. This thin membrane will get ruptured, expose the mass of black spores. The spores are easily blown by wind, leaving the bare rachis. So the causal organism, a wheat loose smut, that is Astrologa nudoticnis. Pathogenesis, Chlamydospores of the fungus are pale olive brown, spherical oval in shape. So smut spores germinate and produce promycelium or sporidium. These promycelial cells fuse and give rise to a germ tube that enter into the ovary through the stigma and become established in the embryo, remaining the dormant until the seed germination. It is internally and externally seed-borne, and it is systemic disease. So the fungus is carried out by the seed as a dormant mycelium, and when the planted seed germinates and the mycelium will become active and it grows along with the plant, and then the panicle is produced, the mycelium reaches the ovary and transforms the ovary into the mass of black smut spores. Secondary spore spread occurs through the wind-borne smut spores. The sporadia infect the healthy flowers. The mycelium will enter the ovary and remain in the seed as a dormant mycelium. So this is the last picture, which shows the healthy plant of the wheat, and other three are infected by the smut disease. The next disease is bunt. The infection is usually confined with a few grains in the spike with irregular arrangement. In some cases, the infection may spread to only a part of the grain. In severe cases, the grain is reduced to black shiny sac of the teliospores. So as the grains mature, the outer glume spread, the inner glume expansion, exposing the bunted grains. So the bunt affected plants emit a foul smell, which is mainly due to the presence of trimethylamine. Fossil organism wheat kernel bunt, that is Mimosia indica. Pathogenesis. The teliospores are smooth walled, measuring 22 to 49 micro in diameter and requiring a large resting period. Teliospores will germinate and produce a large number of needle-shaped primary sporadia or short stout basidium. So later, sickle-shaped secondary sporadia is produced with the help of dispersal of kernel plant. So the teliospore in the soil will germinate to produce a primary sporadia. The infection mostly starts from the embryonal end and it's spread along with the grain suture. The hyphae grow through the base of the plumes into the sub-ovarian tissue and enter pericarp through the funicus. The pericarp will rupture during the threshing, and teliospores deposit on the soil and adheres in the surface of the seed. Moderate temperature, high humidity, and cloudiness or rainfall during the adhesive or favorable condition development in the suitable host varieties. So this is the wheat crop which infected with the bunt. Symptoms: minute orange yellow colored raised pustules appear with powdery masses on the lower surface of the leaf, and the corresponding area on the upper surface of the leaf are yellow. Often the pustules are grouped in concentric rings and collapse together, leading to drying of leaves. Causal organism: sulfur rust and Puccinia helianthi. So pathogenesis: the fungus will produce only Uridosori in castor plant, and other stages of the fungus are unknown. Uridospores are two kinds. One is thick wall and another is a thin wall. So they are elliptical to round, orange yellow color, and finely warty. The fungus survive as a self-sown castor crop in off season. The infection will spread through the airborne Uridospores. So this is the rust symptoms can be able to see that raised orange color pustules able to see in the leaf of the wheat plant. So next important fungal disease is wilt. The wilt disease will affect the crop in all the stages. The early symptoms appears on the seedling is in the cotyledons, which turns to yellow to brown in color. The base of the petiole will show brown ring, followed by wilting and drying of the seedlings in the young and grown-up plants. The first symptoms is yellowing of edges of leaf and the area under the veins. That is, discoloration starts from the margin and spread towards the midrib. The leaves lose their turgidity, gradually turn brown, droops, and finally droop off. Symptom starts from the older leaf at the base, followed by younger one towards the top, finally involves the branches and the whole plant. The taproot is usually stunted with less abundant laterals. Brownings and blackening of vascular tissue is the other important symptom. Black streaks or stripes may be seen extending upward to the branches and downward to the lateral roots. Fossil organism, tomato wilt, vascular wilt, Fusarium oxysporum forms species like a persicki, and otherwise another wilt of tomato is Verticillium theobromine. Pathogenesis, it produces three types of spores: Macroconidia, Microconidia, and Chlamydospores. The fungus also produce a vivotoxin, fusaric acid, which is partially responsible for wilting of the plant. The pathogen is both externally and internally seed-borne. Primary infection is mainly from dormant hyphae and chlamydospores in the soil. The secondary spread is through conidia and chlamydospores, which are disseminated by irrigation water. So soil temperature of 20 to 30 degrees Celsius, hot and dry periods followed by rain, and a heavy black soils with alkaline reaction, increased dose of nitrogen and phosphate fertilizer, soil amendment with the manganese, and wound caused by nematode will favor the disease development. So this is the symptoms of cotton wilt. Next important disease is anthracnose. All the above ground parts are affected at any stage of the crop growth. However, the characteristic symptoms appears on the pod. On the cotyledons, spots are sunken dark brown or black with pink spore mass. Suddenly, the seedlings infection will result in collapsing of seedlings, and a spot on leaves appears on lower side or black. Later, they may be appear on the upper surface. When the infection is severe, the affected plants wither off. Black suction circular spores are varying size appears on the pod with bright red, yellow, or orange margins. Causal organism anthracnose of beans, Culitotrichum millimutianum. Pathogenesis, primary infection through seed and collateral host. Secondary infection, conidia by splashing rainwater or airborne conidia. Host range all the types of vegetables, beans, cowpea, mung, black gram, etc. The temperature of 25 degrees Celsius and a relative humidity of 95 to 97% favor the disease. So this is anthracnose disease seen on the pulses. Next one is rots. So symptoms, that is softened discoloration, decay or disintegration of plant parts due to the mesh, due to or messy when the putrefaction of cells, tissue, and organs, often referred as a gangrene of plant tissues. So there are different types of root rots. Example, dry root rot of pulse caused by Macrophoma physiolina, wet root of soybean caused by Rhizoctonia solani, foot rot or otherwise called as a basal stem rot. Example, fruit rot of pepper, Phytophthora capsicum, Tanjore wilt or basal stem rot of coconut, Ganoderma lucidum. Collar rot, example, collar rot of groundnut, Aspergillus niger, stem rot of paddy caused by Sclerotium oryza. Fruit rot caused of citrus is caused by Penicillium digitalis. Pathogenesis, it produces ellipsoid, slightly thick-walled uh, chlamydospores, which may be terminal or intercalary, and pathogen will produce hyaline mycelium with frequent clamp connections. Basidiospores are thick-walled, brown and truncated at one end. Primary infection, the fungus is soil-borne. Wide range of host So secondary infection through irrigation water and by root contact, mostly during the month of March to August. So this is the symptoms of root rot, symptoms of basal rot, otherwise called as a Tanjavur wilt. This is the fruit rot in eggplant, that is form of cyst blight. And the next important disease is leaf blight. Reddish brown to oval shape appears on the young seedlings with bright yellow margin. In severe cases, the several spots will merge together to cause a drying of leaves. The young leaves are not usually infected. Heavily infected field display a burnt appearance even from a distance. Fossil organism is white wheat leaf blight, that is Alternaria traticea. Pathogenesis, fungal will produce light brown colored pathogen over summers in plant debris and soils, primary spread by external or internally seaborne Conidia. Secondary infection is mainly through windborne Conidia. Temperature of 25 degrees Celsius and relative humidity favor the disease level. So this is the symptoms of leaf blight seen on the pulses. The last disease is galls. The symptoms small outgrowth of stem and root near the soil line. Galls are spherical, white or flesh colored, and galls become hard and crocky on woody stem, knobby and knotty. And plants, affected plants will be stunted with chlorotic leaves. The wart of potato, fossil organism, wart of potato, Syncytium endobioticum. So pathogenesis, the bacteria are responsible for crown gall can persist in the soil for many years, and they are released when galls will become saturated with moisture as an older gall decomposes. Susceptible plants are infected through fresh wounds or other infections, many of which result in pruning, freezing injury, soil insects, cultivation, and other factors that may damage the plant. Nursery stocks is often infected through graftings and budding spores. So this is the symptoms of galls in the leaf. So thank you.